Hello everyone, welcome to another Friday Live here at YouTube. My name is Christina Werner and welcome. In today's video, I thought I would try out using this stencil and die set from Simon Says Stamp's latest release. I think it's called Orange Blossom, and I have not even broken it out of its package. We're just gonna go for it and hope that it all works out. Okay, so like I said, this is the stenciling die set. This is Orange Blossom. And here we are. We've got the set of dies and then the stencils. The dies fit the stencils. I'm going to cut these apart really quick. I'm using wire cutters. So I have these dies ready. We're going to use those in a little bit. Now, when I was thinking of creating this card, I wanted to create a pattern of the orange blossoms. I don't know if you guys have seen, it's kind of a retro kind of fruit stand look, but it's like tons of big oranges and big flowers, and it's all a big arrangement, a big pattern. And I wanted to see if I could create something like that with this stencil set, the stencil. So at first I was like, well, I'll just, stencil it orange and then put a leaf next to it. But then I realized I wanted things kind of overlapping and creating some dimension. So that's when I was happy that there are dies available also. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of these, like putting them together, and then I'll be die cutting them. So I just noticed there's one stem. Hello, I've got a piece of hair right here. There's one stem, and I don't entirely know how I'm supposed to get these dies to work perfectly cutting this out. So I might have to, let's see. We'll do the leaves first, and then we'll get going here. But also, because I am going to be die cutting these out, I want to make sure I'm using the right side of the die. If you notice down here in the bottom corner, let me get this up here closer. There's the item number from Simon. You'll know that it's the right direction if that item number reads correctly. So I'm making sure that this is face up while I stencil. So that makes it so as I stencil each image, I'm able to use the die and have it match up. So that'll match up right there with that one, right? Just thought of that. Just so I don't stencil everything around it, I'm going to kind of block off some of these areas off to the side. Okay, and colors for all of my stenciling. I've picked out a nice arrangement. So these are all from Simon Says Stamp. And I've got Pearfection, Field, Bubblegum, Mandarin, Peachy, and Cheeky. I'm just going to get a little ink on that. And I'm just going to start into the center of the leaves. And then I'll switch to the darker green. And I feel like this needs to get a little more color off. There we go. Then I'll use the darker green on the outer edges of the leaves. We won't worry about the stem being in the right spot for now. And maybe it won't even be a big deal as long as you line up the stem with the end of this top leaf. Maybe it won't even be an issue. We're going to find out. Okay. Oh, love that. I'm going to do those same leaves over here again. of wish these were more of a lighter orange. I should have done like a golden yellow and then with an orange shade. I think that would have been a little bit better. But you know, on screen, it's looking more red than it actually is in person. We'll see. That's like the whole grouping we've got going here. Let's add some stems. So what ones need stems? We'll just come in here. Easy as that. It really does need the stem to like finish off the image. Here we go. So I had thought maybe I would do a dark background with the all of the stuff on top, but maybe I might change my mind here in a minute. This is the purple. It's like a nice grape color. In fact, it might even be called grape. I will use Royal from Simon. A lot of ink on that, and then I can just start to blend in. I really like the idea of the oranges and the leaves on top of this kind of like dark, dramatic background. I think this would be really pretty. So of course you could like do a background and start with like a purple shade already in the middle. And then blend out, you know, like use a purple ink. But I'm lazy. I'm going to just start with purple cardstock. Okay, now we've basically got that. But I want to intensify the corner, like the edges. So now we're going to grab a black ink. I think we will use just Simon Says Stamp Intense Black because that is the only black I've got on hand. And I'm just going to intensify these edges. All right. Now I'm going to clean up my glass mat here before we move on. Just a reminder that you can get a glass mat like this at the link down in my video description. You can get 20% off your order if you use that link. So now we have this lovely background here, and I have to start thinking about what I'm going to do for my grading, because if I'm just going to do a die cut grading, of course I can just put that on top. But if I want to do something stamped, I might want to stamp it here in the center before I move on. I don't know. This is not the vibe I was going for. I might have to go to a white background. I think I might just have to save that for some other card. I'm trying to think what I can do on this dark background. We're going to set that aside. We're going to work on this one for a bit. And I'm just kind of getting all of these arranged. And then I can actually use my grading that I was planning on using, because I'll have a spot where I can stamp it. All right, so I was thinking I would have that over there on the side, or maybe even I sort of maybe love you a lot. I think that could be really cute. All right, we're gonna stamp this grading really quick. So this is the Love Gradings Mix stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to use VersaFine Onyx Black ink. It's my favorite black ink for greetings, because you get a super solid black right off the bat. So now we can start arranging everything over there on the side. So I don't remember exactly how I had these arranged, but we'll just get going here. Oh, I like that right there. Okay, so now that I kind of have the arrangement that I want, I'm going to take some Glad Press and Seal. And what I'm going to do is carefully lay this down. And what this is going to do, it's going to pick everything up. Hopefully. It's going to keep it in that arrangement. Okay, so now I can work on like what's the very bottom layer, what's, you know, the layer up from that. So I've got some liquid glue here. Looks like the very bottom layer is this one right here and that one right there. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue on those leaves. It's okay if it kind of goes off the edge there. And then I can come back. Oh, there goes my mic. Hold on. Place this down. Come back, Mike. There we go. And I'm just going to hold that down for just a minute or two until it starts to like adhere down. In fact, I can sort of peel it up a little bit, making sure that I keep that in place. And I'll make sure that one's down in place. Okay, so those are the two that need to stay right there. And now I can put foam adhesive on these other pieces. And then I can lift everything up all at the same time and place it down. Okay. Let's get my card over here again. And I can lift up just the pieces that are on top, which at this point I probably can remember where all the placement is, right? All right, and then I can glue just those little spots right there. Okay, while all that glue dries, I'm going to trim off whatever is hanging off the edge. You know what this needs? I need some dewdrops too. We're totally going to add some. Okay, so now I can turn this over. I'm going to grab my big, huge scissors because it'll just be easier. All right, and now we need some of those fun dewdrop thingies. These are Lucy's Cards Raindrops. I think some, and I can just add them in. Oh yeah, that's what it needs. Well, this one's gonna work better. It's barely holding on to it. Yep, much better. Okay, I love that. So here's the card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love the additional little dewdrop, little embellishments I added, and the colors turned out pretty well. And I could die cut and stenciled so many pieces. I have enough for additional cards. Now that purple and blue and black background that I did earlier, you're going to have to go watch the unedited version of this live stream to catch it. You can skip to the very end. I'm just going to show how I create a card with that background. So I hope to see you over there. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.